review is coming a bit late, and I know I said in my future man review that I would have this one up by Tuesday of the Tuesday this past week, and it's not, and now it's coming up Saturday. But yes, I did see, finally, Justice League, even though it came out like 3 weeks ago, and even though it's still, it's been a while since the movie came out, it's still in theaters, and I still need to talk about it, so let's talk about Justice League. So Justice League is the sequel to Batman vs. Superman, which I like that movie, and I will stand by that. That is a good movie. Even it's a bit sloppy, but I still think it's really good. It got too much hate, but it's the sequel to that, and basically it focuses on Wonder Woman and Batman assembling the Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman, because a threat is coming and they need other superheroes to help beat the threat so all humanity will not die. I'm just going to straight up say it so I don't, keep building this up like the movie did. I didn't really like the movie that much. It wasn't my most favorite DCEU movie. I mean, yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Wonder Woman. I did get it on Black Friday, though, so maybe I'll watch that tonight and see if I will enjoy it more. But Justice League, I didn't enjoy it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I did. There is enjoyment to be had with it. But this viewing, I don't know. I didn't really care for this movie. And I think the first problem with it was that when I was sitting in the theater, I was like, oh, maybe this is why I'm not really liking it, is because it's short. The movie itself, not the credits, not counting the credits, I don't think the post-credits counted towards this, but the movie itself is under 2 hours long. And so let's say they're about 6 to 5 minutes for credits, and let's say, I think there are 2 post-credit scenes, and each one is like a minute to 2 minutes long, so let's say that's 8 minutes. Let's say, 8 to 9 minutes that's taken out. That means the movie is like only an hour and 50 minutes long, and that's not really a long movie. I mean, it is, but it really isn't at the same time, especially for a movie like Justice League. And when I was sitting in the theater, I was like, oh man, they're really rushing through a lot of this so they can get to, the fight scenes. There's a lot that's rushed through. Like literally the Flash introduction where Bruce Wayne goes to meet Flash, that's literally what you saw in the trailer. That's literally the scene, except like a couple more lines. Other than that, that's the exact scene. Also, the villain was pretty stupid. I mean, I know a lot of people are having problems with Steppenwolf, but I was like, let's see. Maybe he can be pretty cool. But no, he's just kind of stupid. He doesn't really have a motive, and he looks weird, and he sounds kind of weird. He sounds like there's like a muffle over his face. Like, he doesn't have, his mask goes around his face so you can understand his mouth and stuff. But like, it kind of sounds like there's something over his mouth, and you can't really understand. Like, oh, you talking like this? I couldn't really understand like half the words he was saying. There's literally one scene where he's attacking a member of the Justice League. I think it was either Flash or Cyborg, and he says something to one of them. I have no clue what he said. It was crazy. And I mean, maybe it's because the sound in the background of like destruction and stuff was so loud. But he like grabs someone and he says something to them, and I have no clue what he said. It was so crazy. I literally sat there in the theater right after he said it. I was like, what did he just say? I don't know. And even there were a couple times when I was watching it, my dad would lean over and he's like, what did he just say? And I'm like, I have no clue what he even just said. So that was kind of weird, and it was a bit annoying too. But besides that, the villain was just pretty weak. He didn't really seem like he had a motive as to why he was acting bad. He does mention someone though of why he's acting, who he's acting for, but like other than that, it's kind of just cheap. But some of the things I did like is that the action is good. Not a lot of the set pieces are really memorable from the movie. I'm not going to look back and be like, oh, I remember that place where they fought. This village they fight in was kind of strange because, like, nobody really lives there. They focus on one family that lives in, like, this deserted town in, like, Russia or something. And so, like, throughout the whole movie, they keep focusing on this family, and then it kind of really goes nowhere. But, I mean, the action when they fought there at the end was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I also think the team worked well together in a way that I liked. I mean, it doesn't really seem like they have a lot of chemistry, and I think they played upon that throughout the movie, which is interesting because you can tell that, a lot of the characters kind of don't want to be there. Well, they're like, oh, well, we have to do this because we're superheroes and we have to save people. It's what we're meant to do. But at the same time, they also know, oh, I don't really care for these people because it kind of points out my insecurities about myself. Like, especially Cyborg, he's upset that he's, like, not really a man anymore because he's mostly robot. And so he's like, I'm not going to do this because I'm a monster. But then he's like, okay, you know what? I have to do this because I have to save people who I love. But at the same time, you can be like, oh, he doesn't want to be there because he feels, like he's put in the spotlight of being unnormal. Gal Gadot was really good as Wonder Woman. Ezra Miller was really... I liked Flash. I know a lot of people are having issues with Flash, but I actually really liked him. I thought he was pretty funny. So, I don't really know what I can say about that. He had some really good jokes. He's a lot like me, too. He's fluent in sign language. I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm not fluent in it, but I'm taking a college class for sign language. So that was pretty interesting. To be like, oh, we both know the same thing. Hopefully, that'd be really cool to see them expand on. I don't know if there are any like deaf characters in the DC universe or like the comics or anything, but it would be really interesting since he says he's fluent in it. They made sure to point that out, so it'd be pretty cool to see in like a future movie him trying to communicate with someone through sign language. I also think this is probably the last appearance we're going to see as Ben Affleck as Batman. It's sad to admit it, but I really think it is. He just doesn't seem like he wants to be there, and it's kind of hurtful because like there are millions of people that would want to be Batman, and you can tell just throughout this movie he doesn't really want to be that character anymore, and you can see he's trying to get out of it with like, if you look at Batman versus Superman, you can see, oh, he's really in that character, and this time he's kind of like, all right, let's just get this done. So it's kind of sad, but if it's his last movie as Batman, it would be okay. He was fine in this movie, nothing really like stand outish, but I don't know, it's kind of sad if you'd leave, but I'd like to see who they replace him with. All in all, Justice League isn't going to be my most favorite movie of the year. It's probably not even going to make my top 10 list. But I liked it. It was okay. I had issues with it. It's not my most favorite DC EU movie. But hopefully we'll get a director's cut. I doubt we're actually going to. But it'd be interesting to get a director's cut to see what that extra like hour was that we didn't get to see in the theaters. So hopefully we will. I'm going to give Justice League a 5 out of 10. It's enjoyable. If you like Justice League, you're going to like this movie. If you don't like Justice League, you're probably not going to like this movie. Thank you all so much for listening. If you've liked what you listened to on here and you want to listen more, go like, comment, and subscribe. That'd be really helpful and I would really appreciate it. The links to all of my social medias are listed down below in the description. Other than that, this has been A Talk in Depth.